All right, guys. So we're going to do a small group lesson on some place values and shifting. Okay. I'm going to write a number down, and I just want you to tell me the number. And if you want to, you can raise your hand or you can say it as a group, okay?
0.
0. And I'm trying to get good at writing upside down.
27.
27.
122.
102. Good. What about, how do you read that?
5 and 2 tenths.
5 and 2 tenths. How did you know to say and? How did you know to say and?
Lewis learned that.
Where do you say and at?
At the decimal
The
point.
decimal point. So 5 and 2 tenths. And you know that from your place value charts, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we are going to, I'm just going to kind of call out some numbers to you guys. So I made these for you guys. They're place value charts. And that big black dot, of course, is your decimal. And these number cards are kind of big, so you can kind of smush them together to help them fit. And you have 2 of every number, okay? So if you want to go ahead, you can take the paper clip off and organize them. I know some y'all like to put like your 9s and 8s, and they're all together. You can just give me the paper clip. You just put them. However, it's going to make sense to you, because I want you to be able to get them. And I'll make some of this stuff so you can get them. Okay, so while you're organizing your numbers, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be practicing reading and building numbers according to place values. And then we're going to practice shifting those place values, okay? So that's what we're doing. Okay, so, and you can turn it up, you can turn it long ways, however you want to do it, where you're going to be able to see it. And I gave you 2 of each number, most of you, because we might use 3 twice, might use 2 twice, and I wanted you to have all the numbers you need. Okay, so I want you guys to build 203. It's okay if I can't say I know that's a 0. Okay, 203. Good job. Good job. Okay, so we have 203. Now, what would you do if I said 203 and 68 hundredths? What would you do? 68 hundredths.
8,000. Just like at 60 at the bottom too.
68 hundredths. Good job, McKenzie.
200.
Remember, 6 would be 10 and 8. Remember, you read your hundreds. Okay. Okay, so why do we read? Somebody, you can raise your hand because you'll say a sentence. Why do we read hundreds right here? If we have 203 and 68 hundredths, why don't we read all these? Why do we read that one? Alana? I need some more thinking time? All right, Mackenzie?
Because after our decimal point, our numbers are smaller. They're smaller than our 1, so you have to make sure that we put them like smaller.
Okay, so where does the 8 stop at? The hundredths place. Now, hundreds and hundredths, they sound similar, so you got to make sure you put the in there. What are you going to say, Gunnar?
Basically what she said.
Okay. So we stop wherever your number stops at, you read that place value, right? So we have 203 and 68 hundredths. Okay, you can clear it off. And I'm going to ask you another number. It's going to be a little different this time. Okay. Now, next I want you to build 6 and 759 thousandths. 6 and 759 thousandths. 6 and 759 thousandths. Good job. Good job. Okay, so this time our 9 stops in what place value?
Thousand.
The thousandths. So that's going to be the word we read. So we said 6. What was our and? A decimal. So 6 and 759 thousandths. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you a question about these. If we're doing a place value shift, who knows what a shift is? When you do a place value shift, if we were going to clear off your 5 and your 9 and just leave 6 and 7/10. Go off your 5 and your 9 and just leave 6 and 7/10. That way we aren't going to clutter up our numbers. Okay, if we're going to shift this, I'm not going to say which direction. What's just a shift? What are we doing? What are we doing in a place value shift? Alana.
You move.
You're moving it. Are you moving just one of the numbers? If you have 2 numbers, are you just moving one?
No, you're moving both of them.
You're moving. So what if you have 4 numbers?
You move all
You
four.
move all 4. So okay. So if you shift, so if I shift this up, if I'm going to shift it, I have to move both of them. Why can't I just move this? Why can't I just say, okay, I'm done?
Because if we shift one, you have to shift the other one, so that way, like, what's the word? I don't know what the word is.
You have to. Well, they go together.
Yeah,
So-
go ahead.
Unless this was going to read 60 and 7/10, I'd have to put a 0 here. But if I'm just shifting the 6 and the 7, I have to move both of those, right? Okay, so we're going to practice shifting a few times. I want you guys to shift the place value down 1. Okay. Now what if we shift it up 3 times? What would be your number if you shift that up 3 times? What would that read?
607.
600. And if we'd have to add a 0 right here then, wouldn't we? If we add a 0 right here, what would that read?
670.
670. Good job. Okay, you can clear your board off. I don't know. It'll be okay. We'll just use 6 points. Okay, so you notice I said shift up and down. So we have operations when we shift. When we shift up, what operation are we using?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. Very good. When we shift down, what operation are we using? Division. Okay, so if we're shifting up once, are we multiplying 10, 100, or 1,000?
10.
10. What if we shift up twice? What if we shift down 3 times? 1,000. Good job. Okay, so there's a counting zeros trick. And I think I've heard your teacher maybe mention this. So we have 10, 100, and 1,000. So how many zeros are with 10?
1,
How many zeros are with 100?
2,
How many zeros are with 1,000?
3,
So if you're multiplying by 10, how many place values are you shifting?
1,
1, because there's 1 what?
0,
Okay. If you're multiplying by 100, how many place values are you shifting?
2,
Because how many zeros?
2,
Okay. What about if you're multiplying by 1,000? How many shifts?
3.
Why?
Because there's 3
3 zeros. So you can always count your number of zeros. 10, 100, 1,000. And those zeros tell you how many place values you're going to shift. Can I multiply by 10 and shift 3 times?
No.
And that's a good testing technique. If you're ever taking a test and it says let's shift, multiply 60 by 10 and shift, you would get, instead of 60, if you multiply it, you would get 600. You're just going to add a 0. That's how many you're moving. Okay? So now we're going to build some numbers, and we're going to try. Instead of saying shift this many times, I'm just going to tell you to multiply or divide by one of these. Okay. Okay. So build 2 3/10. 2 3/10. Very good. Remember your decimal. Yes. Y'all are good about recognizing your decimals. Miss Kessler's been doing a good job. Okay, I want you to divide 2 3/10 by 10. You're going to divide that by 10. What does that read?
2300.
2300. Very good. Now, I want you to multiply 2300 by 100. Multiply 2300 by 100. Good, Sean. And now what does that read?
23.
Just 23. Okay. Clear 23 off. We're going to do a bigger number. I want you to build 89 and 75 hundredths. 89 and 75 hundredths. Okay. Now I want you to divide this by 10. If you're dividing by 10. Who can read me this number? Who can read me this number? Sean, go ahead.
8 and 975 thousandths.
Yes, very good. Okay, now I want you to take 8 and 975 thousandths, and I want you to multiply it by 1,000. Okay, who wants to read me this number? Mackenzie.
8,975.
Okay. Now I want you to take 8,975, and I want you to add a 1 to the tenths place. To the tenths. You can keep your 7 there, Alana. Put a 1 in the tenths. Right after the decimal. There you go. Okay, now I want you to take 8,975 and 1/10, and I want you to divide by 2. Divide by 100. So 2 zeros. Divide by 100. Okay, who wants to read this number? Gunner, go ahead.
89 and 751 thousandths.
Very good, very good. Okay. So if we put a big number, just say, well, you all have 1 6. So let's put a 6 in the thousands place. Let's go ahead and fill up this whole board. And none of our numbers are the same at this point. Let's go ahead and fill up this whole board. Okay. So a lot of these place values are, well, actually, not the whole board. We'll leave the thousands empty. The hundreds is filled up. We'll leave the thousands empty. So we have 689 and 751 what? Thousands. Okay. So when we're talking about place values, you can always, even if you don't have a chart like this, right? If you're testing and you see a decimal, if you're testing to see a decimal, you're going to know how to read that because you've looked at these. I know you've been doing some of these in class and you see these, so you're going to learn how to visualize that in your head. So you're going to be able to recall these place values. Is it easier talking about place values using things you can like see or just writing about it?
Things that I see.
So manipulatives. So you like using things where you can see this. So you're a visual learner. You like seeing things and you like touching things. And it makes learning more fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Learning's fun? Okay. Okay, now we're going to talk about rounding real quick. Rounding. And the reason why I wanted you to put a good couple numbers on this is that's the last thing we're going to discuss before we do one more thing, okay? So I'm going to point to, and all y'all's numbers are the same. I'm going to point to this 8, which is in the tens place. Okay? Find your 8. Now, what number tells me to round that 8?
The ones.
The ones. What's in the ones?
The 9.
Would I round that 8 or leave it the same? Round. Why would I round it, Sean?
Because not 5 and up, you have to make it rounded up, but when it's 4 and below, you keep it the same.
Yes. So if this, whatever number you're looking at, if I'm wanting to change this, if I'm looking at the 8 to see if I need to round, this number tells you what to do. So if you're going to try to look at this one, you go to the number beside it. And sometimes it's called the bossy neighbor. The bossy neighbor. Okay, so you've heard it. So the bossy neighbor for the 8 is what?
The 9.
What's the bossy neighbor for the 5?
The 1.
A 1. What's the bossy number for the 6?
The 8.
What's the bossy number for the 9?
The 7.
The 7. Okay, so with the 5, let's go back down here to the 5. Would I round that 5 up or would I keep it the same?
Keep it the same.
Why?
Because if it's below 5, then it has to stay the same.
It's staying the same. Okay. So what if it's like really close to being a 5? What if it's a 6? And I'm like, it's really close to 5. Do I still round up?
Yes.
Okay. Because it's still bigger. It doesn't matter how close it is. If it's bigger than 5 or more, you got to change it. But if it's less, you keep it the same. So does that work with any number? If I wrote out a 20-digit number and I was going to round one place value, would I still look at the neighbor?
Yes.
Yes. It doesn't matter if your teacher writes down a number that goes across this whole wall and they point to one number and they say, "What if I'm rounding to this place value?" You look at the number behind it, which is the bossy neighbor. Okay? So even if you're getting confused, maybe on tests, you can always take a sheet of paper. If you have a number that takes up your whole computer screen, you can take a sheet of paper and cover up to the number that they're talking about. That way you're not getting distracted about anything else, okay? So I know we touched on rounding just a little bit. And we'll do maybe another lesson another time on rounding. Okay, so you can just take your manipulatives and push them to the side. And I'm going to pass you out something here in a second. You can just push them to the side. And I'll just clean them up later. And you don't have to put them back in order if you don't want to. Kind of. Okay. And I'm sorry, baby. I'm gonna take your blue papers. That way you have a free space. Okay. Now, so we talked about, what are we talking about? We just talked about reading place values, reading decimals, shifts, and we discussed the operations, and we touched on rounding just a bit, right? Okay, so by a show of thumbs, a thumbs up if everything makes sense, so you don't have any questions. A thumbs to the side if you think, I need a little more help, or a thumbs down if you're like, I'm completely lost. So this is, I got it, I'm good, I know what I'm doing, I'm as good as I'm going to get. Thumbs to the sides, I need a little more help, and thumbs down is I'm completely lost. So show of thumbs with this. So all of y'all are good with place values. Okay, so we're going to do paper as a ticket out the door. And I know y'all can read. I'm going to give you this. This is just it's putting it in like written terms. So we work with the manipulatives. And now I'm going to give you the paper. I have pencils for you guys. Okay. You can go ahead and get started. Yeah, you can go ahead. I know y'all are working quietly. Just for reference, when you have the 1,000 numbers like this, your decimal always starts before the number. So if you're moving how many place values, you just can take and go 1, 2 for place values. And that's usually how you get your number. If you're dividing, you go down. If you're multiplying, you go up. So wherever your decimal is off. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna check my time while a few of you are still working, and then we're just gonna read them as a group. Okay. Alright. We're gonna take y'all's. Alana, still take your time, okay?
This is 112 miles. It's already been like 30 minutes.
You're probably getting close. Okay, now I'll take your pencils, Sean and Alana, from you. Alright, now we're gonna do just a quick check, okay? So I'm gonna read these and we're gonna do, you know what a quick check is, right? Okay. I'm not gonna let you see the questions I'm reading, I just want you to answer. What operation would shift 5 and 2/10 to 52 hundredths?
Multiplication.
Division.
Oh, wait, no.
Division.
Wait a minute, can you say that again?
What operation would shift 5 and 2/10 to 52 hundredths?
Hundredths.
Hundredths.
Oh.
Hundredths. So yes, division. Very good. And you can always look where your decimal is. If your decimal is moving to the right, like if your decimal right here between the 5 and the 2, it is moving to the right, it means your number is getting bigger, so it's multiplication. If you notice the decimal started here and it moved to the left, it means your number is actually getting smaller. So that means division. Always look at your decimals, okay? Which operation would shift 375 thousandths to 37 5/10?
Division.
Multiplication. It's okay, Gunner. Yeah, it's multiplication. And sometimes, so you would like seeing your sub, and it's okay to draw when you have to draw. Okay, so divide 4,523 by 100.
What's the number?
4,523 by 100. So here, I'm gonna write it out for you. 4,523. If I'm dividing this by 100, my decimal, this is 4,000, so that's the comma. If my decimal, it always starts here, right? On whole numbers, hang on. Never mind. That's okay. Over here. On decimal, I'm looking upside down. My decimal always starts here on whole numbers. So if I'm dividing 1, how many zeros? 2. Now here's my new decimal. So my new number is 4, 5, 2, 3. So my new number is 45 23 hundredths. That's my new number. Okay. So you can always do that. Remember on whole numbers like 5 and 23 and 4,523, your decimal is always going to start behind because it's a whole number. And when you're dividing, you're going to move this way. Now, if you're starting out with a decimal right here, Look, I'm gonna write the 5 backwards. I'm gonna master writing upside down one of these days, guys. Okay, so if I'm writing 527 thousandths, my decimal is on this side, right? Because it's a decimal. So if I'm multiplying, my number is going to get bigger. So it's going to move this way. And your new number would be, look, I did it again.
52
Look,
70.
I'm never, see,
Is that 5?
supposed to be. 52 and what? 7/10. Okay. So remember, on a whole number, the decimal starts behind it. On a decimal, the decimal starts in front of it. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna read a last question, and we're gonna see. Okay. So if I'm dividing 4, I'm not gonna use one on here. If I'm gonna divide 4 and 5/10, if I'm gonna divide 4 and 5/10 by 100, what would that be? 4 and 5/10. If I'm gonna divide it by 100, let's see. I know that's a hard one.
You've had 45,000. Yes. Yeah. 45,000.
Let's. Y'all said. Do y'all agree on 45,000?
Yes.
Okay. So I said, what was it? 4
and 5 tenths.
4 and 5/10. And how much are we gonna divide it by?
100.
We're gonna divide it so it's gonna get bigger or smaller.
Smaller.
Okay. My decimal's gonna go over here. And I'm gonna erase this decimal. Okay, so if I read this, my decimal's here. It is 45,000. Very good. Very good. Okay. If you guys, do you have any questions? I know we do our thumbs up. Any questions? Are we still thumbs up? Yep. No questions? Y'all did very well. Do y'all like these charts?
Yes.
Would you prefer this or this?
Chart.
The chart.
No,
What would you prefer, Gunner? If you're working in a small group, would you like to do this or like to do this? Yes, this. What if you're working in a class?
That.
What makes you say this for your class group?
Because
Just out of curiosity.
It just feels. No, we're doing like it just feels more right. I feel like
It just
our
feels more
paper, we can like circle the answers or write our answers. It just feels more
Is
like
it like-
appropriate.
Is it less distracting?
Yeah.
As a whole group, we can do this. But for
Yeah.
small groups, you like interacting, right?
Yeah.
I like the chart, but like I think it would like work better if it was bigger because the numbers are.
I know. And that's the thing. Sometimes manipulatives, they're too big or too small. I get what you're saying. So next time we could get some number chips that are like half that size.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or we could
Number
cut
chips.
out-
Yeah.
cut the paper
Take some
out.
scissors and cut. Next time we probably won't use these. We'll probably be on something else. Okay? I'm gonna go turn this camera off.
How long has it been?
We have 2 minutes. So no more questions, are we sure? Okay. I want you to go ahead and help me clean up. Give me these.
A little bit.
And you can just take everything and put it down there.
I don't have a
It's okay. I'll get the paper clip. Guys, y'all did a really good job.
Thank you.
Y'all did a really, really good job. I'm gonna have to tell Miss Kessler. Y'all made it kind of challenging on me. I had to like, at the end, I had to change some of my numbers because I was like, man, they keep getting this. But that's good. That means you're paying attention in class and you're doing what you need to do.
I know. I know. It's the same after as
Large
that does
hill.
but
All right, guys. What we're gonna do? Go ahead and stand up. In your chairs. I'm gonna turn this off. Okay.